Hey, I'm Tony, and I'm a pretty avid hiker. And this is Rowena, my best friend who isn't an avid hiker. In September of 2023, we drove across the span of Norway from Oslo to Tromsø, where I put Rowena up to the test to provide you with information on the best hikes Norway has to offer from both of our perspectives, because I believe even if you are not a hiker, almost anyone can do these hikes. So let's start off with a bit about Norway itself. It's an incredible alien landscape of endless fjords, mountains and lakes, where around every corner and through every tunnel revealed something completely new and different. But with the landscape being so beautiful, it also comes with weather that can be very unpredictable. So it's important to note some crucial pieces of gear when considering hiking in Norway. As with any hike, investing in some good hiking boots are a must in these scenarios for weatherproofing and safety when dealing with wet and rocky conditions, which is very likely in this country. In terms of clothes, my top half I usually begin with a base thermal layer, followed by a synthetic hiking shirt, followed by a thin fleece, then a warm down jacket, followed by a rain jacket. Now I don't wear all these layers at once, but that's a good baseline to have so that you can swap and choose which layers you need. My bottom layers would be thermals, hiking pants, followed by some rain pants. A beanie and gloves are also important accessories to keep those cold nights toasty. In terms of hiking equipment, I would recommend buying a hiking bag with waist straps to relieve the weight off of your shoulders and back. The size depends on if you are doing just day hikes or overnight hikes. Hiking poles and learning how to use them properly will help you take pressure off your knees if you have knee issues like I do, and helps make hiking a lot more easier, especially as a beginner. When it comes to fitness, what I always believe in is that anyone can do these hikes. However, your fitness level will determine how much you enjoy these hikes. My friend had no hiking experience previous to this holiday and did struggle with the hikes, but she managed to complete all the hikes and grew to enjoy and complete them with more ease as she went along and continued to use hiking poles. First and foremost is Pulpit Rock hike. Located in Prigestålen, 5 hours drive south of Bergen, this 8 kilometer, 3 to 4 hour moderately difficult return hike is one of the most popular hikes in Norway. The hike starts in a paid parking zone at the trailhead, which also has public toilets and shops to grab some food or souvenirs. It's a fairly steep climb that will lead you through diverse terrain of lush forests, wooden walkways, and rocky paths. The summit provides a panoramic view of Litlefjellet, and with its deep blue waters surrounded by towering cliffs, so watch your step. Even though this hike is suitable for most fitness levels, don't underestimate its steep nature, so take your time and use hiking poles if needed, and try to start this hike as soon as the boom gates open in the morning to avoid the insane crowds. Next hike is Trolltunga. Now this hike proved to be the most challenging hike. It is located about 3 hours south from Bergen, and depending on whether you are starting at P2 or P3 parking, this hike is a 20 to 25 kilometer, 8 to 9 hour return hike. To also help, booking a parking spot at P3 online is ideal if you have a small vehicle. Otherwise, start your hike from P2 or visit the official website to look at the shuttle times that run between the windy uphill road between P2 and P3. It draws you to the heart of Norway's stunning Hardangerfjord region, where this journey will take you through a variety of lush forests to rugged terrain, and eventually leads to the Trolltunga, a dramatic rock formation that juts over a 700-meter high cliff. To make this hike more bearable for someone who hasn't hiked before, we opted to camp overnight at the Trolltunga rock area itself to split the hiking up. It also meant that we didn't need to rush and went at our own pace, stopping a lot to rest and enjoy the views. Litlefjellet, one of the shortest yet most rewarding hikes. This 1.6 kilometer, 1.5 hour return hike Located in the Venchendalen Valley, requires some steep climbing assisted with some chains, but otherwise is easy until you reach the top, and are greeted to the 360-degree views of Trolltunga, Romsdalshorn, and the Vegetandane mountain ranges, making you feel incredibly small. The tip would be to most definitely visit this spot during sunset, as it is a magical moment to witness the mountain ranges being painted around you. Just be aware that this is a private toll road and requires a separate fee, but you could also camp here for the night too in some dedicated parking spots. Reinebringen, located in the iconic Lofoten Islands. This 5.8 kilometer, 3 to 4 hour moderately difficult return hike is the best viewpoint to see one of the most beautiful spots in Norway. From the nearby parking lot Litlefjellet, which has very limited space, or the paid rain parking area 15 to 20 minute walk further away in town. This hike will take you to the stairway to heaven, as your quads will be burning from the tiring ascent. Tips would be to definitely use hiking poles to save your legs, and only do this hike in dry weather, as mud and wet rocks can make this hike quite dangerous. Ryten, not far from Rhein, is the Ryten hike, which begins at the Ryten Kvalvika Beach Trail parking. A moderately difficult 7 kilometer, 4 hour return hike that would lead you through exposed farmland with lots of mud and makeshift wooden walkways until you reach the summit overlooking Kvalvika Beach below. An important thing to mention by this point is anyone who is new to hiking, the first few hikes will prove to be the hardest, but as your body becomes used to it and overcomes the sore muscles, it will become easier. Next is Kvalvika Beach. From Ryten Peak, there is an option to hike down 3 kilometers, 2 hours one way to the beach, which will prove to be a very difficult descent, as there is a large segment of rock scrambling with no clear and safe path down, especially if it is very muddy and wet, so be aware. This will allow you to then experience the magical beauty of this secluded beach and even spend the night camping. From Kvalvika Beach, it is another 2 hours to return back to the parking spot. Matind, located in the outermost corner of the Lofoten Islands. This underrated 7.6 kilometer, 3 to 4 hour easy hike will start at a clear signposted parking lot at the trailhead, before requiring some rock scrambling at the start, before plateauing off, and then reaching the summit view of some of the most spectacular displays of craggy mountains, white sandy beaches, and endless oceans. Its sheer scale is something you won't expect until you are there to witness it. And finally, the Hesten hike, the final hike of Norway, and one to end it off with. The Hesten hike is a 5.3 kilometer, 4 hour moderately difficult hike that starts off with a 5-minute walk from the public parking spot in Fjordgard and requires some rock scrambling as you make your way up towards the top, which gets you overlooking Segler Peak. The scrambling can be done easily as long as you take your time. With its sheer drop off over the cliff and 360-degree views of Senja mountain ranges, this hike will prove to be one of, if not the best hike in Norway for its value for time. Remember to also walk down to the ridgeline to gain an even cooler perspective. So, those are the 8 most impressive hikes this country has to offer. Something that was no easy feat for any beginner, but there is no better way to start off hiking than to do it in one of the most beautiful places ever. As Rowena has even said to me, I forgot all the trauma and only remembered the beauty. If you guys would like to watch my whole 16-day guide video, link is down below. And if you would like an even more comprehensive PDF travel guide that covers far more detail and comes with a complimentary Notion template and pinned Google Maps, link is also down below. Until next time, see ya.